Good evening and welcome to Real. I'm your host, Kalani Fisher. Well, tonight is our final instalment of Season 2. In this episode, we are exploring memory. There are many scientific theories about memory. What is well known, however, is the extraordinary ability the brain has of evoking vivid recollections from pictures, sounds, and words as if they were being experienced for the first time. But they may not always be favourable. Michel de Montaigne, an author of the French Renaissance, wrote, "Nothing fixes a thing so intensely in the memory as the wish to forget it." This leads us to our first short film, The Architect, by La Trobe student Alyssa Garache. Alyssa takes us on a journey into the mind of a man held hostage in his own despair. Let's check it out.
Daddy.
what an intriguing film that was by Alyssa. Now, coming up after the break, we are going to watch a documentary exploring the childhood memories of elderly people. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now, the next documentary we're going to see has been directed by Christine Knight. The film explores the childhood memories of elderly people by asking them to reflect on growing up. Let's take a look at Lovely Little Things.
In a quiet corner of the mind lives a landscape of time, a picture of what used to be. We each have our own precious memories. For some, it comes with an unforgettable scent. For others, it is found in a song. These are the signatures of our lives, our lovely little things.
Yeah, smells bring back big memories, yeah. I don't know whether you can still buy Fisher's wax, but I've got some. And whenever I smell that smell, it just takes me back to boarding school because everything smelt of wax. We had to stay after everyone else had gone to bed. And they had these huge big dishes full of wax, which they daubed on the floor. Then someone else came along and rubbed it in, and then someone else came along and polished it. And but the good thing about having that job was that we got to eat as much bread and jam as we liked before we went to bed. So everybody really wanted that job.
I was kind of an adventurous person, because I got into the motorbikes, going round bends and leaning over and straightening up. It was the freedom. It was wonderful riding a bike. Dad took a great interest in everything that we did. So he bought a little Beezer Bantam motorbike, and we used to take our motorbikes out and see how fast they'd go, trying to dodging the police. And Dad would always say, take the Bantam out and see how fast that would go. And he was always very interested in how fast the motorbike would go. I think it used to do 65 mile an hour.
Somerville was a town full of identities. We had a man who made soft drink, Mr. Powditch. And I have never tasted creaming soda like Mr. Powditch. Red, beautiful. Oh, it did you good. And it had like a real creamy froth on the top. Oh, beautiful. And then we would have picnic on the beach, which was great fun. And as we always said, there was always that jar of red beet that Mum would take that always leaked. It always leaked over something. You could bet your life it would have leaked on a sandwich or into something. It was always that jar of leaky red beet.
And Mum always looked immaculate. She was a dressmaker. And I can remember once, we got a new dress every year for the show, and she didn't finish my dress till about 7 o'clock. She dressed me up and she said to us, you go on down to the hall while I get ready and I'll be down. Well, we went down to the hall and they had all these rows of seats. And of course, we're having a lovely time running up and down the rows between the seats, and caught the dress on a nail and ripped a great big tear in it. So, of course, I headed back home and, oh, was I in strife. I had to wear something old. I was in disgrace.
We did get in a bit of trouble one day because it seemed such an innocent pursuit. But we used to crime under the house. I had some matches in my pocket and we found some paper. We thought, oh, we'd set fire to it. My father observed the smoke and came and said, "Where are you boys? Are you boys under there? What's all the smoke coming from?" We received a Sammy strap as a bit of punishment.
I love my father dearly, and this is one of the things that always stuck in my mind. If we had Florence and Jenny with us or whatever, and they would have some pocket money, and my father would say, "We'll have ice cream." And she'd say, "Oh, it's all right, I've got my money." And he would say, "Put your money away. It's no good. Your money is no good." I'm shouting. I think, gee, Dad. And if I hear someone say it now, I still have those recollections of Dad. Your money's no good. Oh, gee, Dad.
Mum was a professionally trained singer. Dad was just a bit of a crooner, but he was good. And then as they got older, there was a song called When Your Hair Has Turned to Silver. And the two of them used to sing this as a duet.
When your hair has turned to silver, I will love you just the same.
I've got it on tape actually. Makes me teary when I listen to it.
That will always be your name.
I think memories are the lifeblood of everyone. Going way back, they're the memories of a small child in a country town, growing up, of going to high school, all that. They're the memories that you have over the years.
I rely on my memories, I suppose. Keep me happy. I was playing something in the car the other day and I started singing along with it and then I started bawling and I thought, oh, what's going on, you know? And then I thought, oh, this is why, because I suppose it brings back things that you wish still were and you know that they're not and they're never going to be. And
Memories, I guess, are the sum of your experiences. They're there. It just needs a trigger, the question, the comment, and then the memory comes out. It's an amazing thing, the mind, isn't it?
They're you, they're your personality, they're your character, and they've all helped to shape you. Now that's rather a long answer to that question, isn't it? And I think I got off the track again.
what are memories? They're the things that make me me. I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have my memories. I couldn't see any purpose. Yeah. I've got tears in my eyes.
When your hair has turned to silver, I will love you as today.
What a beautiful, heartwarming documentary that was. Now, here to discuss lovely little things is our regular guest, Dr. Gabrielle Murray from La Trobe's Media and Cinema program. Gabrielle, welcome once again on this final show.
Thank you, Kalani, and how tragic the final show.
I know,
Yes.
I'm quite sad.
I think I am a little too, but you've dressed appropriately,
Yes,
very glamorous.
Yes, just a little bit of sequin and glitz just to end the celebration. Now, talking about lovely little things.
Actually, before you
Yes,
go there,
go
I was
for
just
it.
going to mention The Architect,
Oh,
the short film. How
it's
extraordinary.
such an interesting film.
Yeah, I was very impressed with the set design. It's so simple, but it's so evocative, and I think it's really
Yeah.
interesting that you chose to show that film, Kalani, in the context of memories, because on some levels it's got such a labyrinth
Yes.
feeling around it.
It does.
Sort of like a terrible anxiety dream.
Yeah, I actually found that really intriguing, that short film, The Architect, just to see where it was going and where the story was leading, and even just kind of, you never really knew what room he was going to go into next or what was going to come out of the wall, and it was very engaging.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting short film. Lovely little things. What did you think about the cinematography in that?
Look, I think it's interesting that you brought that up because the cinematography and I would say the editing really worked to make this an extraordinary documentary. And I think that's partly because obviously we're using dramatisations. Partly because memories are intangible. You can have somebody sit there and go on and on about, you know, their past and the things that are important to them and how something evokes something. But until you see them animated in the way they are, and because of the use of often shallow and soft focus, they have another dimension to them that takes us away from the four main characters that we actually see. So they're all nice and crisp and vital and alive, and we have that kind of whimsical element that's introduced because of the different use of the sort of footage and the focus, etc.
Yeah. Now, just quickly, what's one of the earliest memories you've had?
Blimey. The earliest memories I have.
Just
Do you really want to
quickly.
know?
Yes.
Yeah, smacking my brother's front teeth in with a rake. There you go.
Gabrielle, I'm a little bit worried now. I didn't know you had
really
that
want to
side
know
to
that.
you.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of just the story and the stories of each of the different people in this documentary, did you find them interesting?
Oh, of course. I think there's something really vital about them, but I think the cinematography is really interesting and the way it's edited together, because we get this really sharp definition of them, and behind them there's this lovely kind of soft focus background that's got all these little interesting things that we're not quite sure what they are.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
And
Gabrielle.
I didn't get to get you back for that terrible question you just asked
Well,
me.
you might never get a chance. Thank you
no.
so much for joining us these past few weeks. It's been incredible having you on the show.
Lovely to be here, Kalani. It's been a pleasure.
Lovely. Well, that's all we've got time for tonight, and that concludes our last episode of this series of Real. Over the past few weeks, we have showcased La Trobe University students' video productions as they have explored many themes associated with community love and loss. I hope that you've enjoyed this journey as much as I have. I'm your host, Kalani Fisher. Keep it real, Melbourne.